Hey, here we are.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Nice. Forgive my appearance. I am in extreme casual mode this week again. So
You got good reason to, man.
I'm going to be that way for a while, I'm afraid. So don't think I'm being disrespectful to the other guys here or anything like that. I'm just not mobile. So kind of stuff right here. So anywho, what do you think?
I just living the dream right now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Everything was good until Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Sundays. But other than that, it's been a pretty good 2 weeks.
Well, that stinks.
No matter how it goes to show you, you can take a bath in hand sanitizer like I've been doing for the past month, but eventually it gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Eventually it will.
Yep. Yeah, afraid so. Yep.
No avoiding it.
No, I mean honestly, there isn't. Sadly, and it's I think everybody can agree. No matter what the news says, we could all tell you already. It's been a rough year for the flu bugs. So
Yeah, it has been.
That it has.
yep. So I did finally get over mine just in time to go get surgery. So, which is fine because I really needed the surgery. So.
Yeah.
But here we are. So, anyways, you got something you wanted to do first, Shane?
Yeah, we got a shout out from someone.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do that.
Alabama Toy Merch. This is Barbie Blank, aka WWE Diva Kelly, and I hope you guys are doing amazing. You're killing it. Can't wait to see what you guys have in store.
Oh, and she said John Maddox is an awesome guy. You just didn't hear that part.
Well, now we know who canceled her flight home.
Wow. I got to tell you, she's doing, for somebody with obvious physical deformities, she's doing great for herself, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah, man. That's awesome to see a girl that far behind the 8 ball doing that well for herself, huh?
Yeah.
I will say I got an autographed like 14 by 18 poster, but I'm having to keep it at Wolf's Den because Nancy won't let me bring it home. Shane's got a picture of it.
Hang on a second.
I tried to get Nancy to let me put it in the living room. I think it looked great in the living room.
I think the reason John's in a new location now, he may be in hiding or witness protection.
Well, I said I had it. I found it.
Yeah, I can't show it here because Nancy wouldn't let me bring it home. So I had to leave it down at Wolf's Den.
I'm surprised Nancy let you come home.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though. I mean, for all of that deformity that she's got going on here, she's doing fantastic. That's awesome.
I tell you, Wolf had 2 of those. He got them signed. They're literally like, I don't know, 14 by 18, I guess.
Like the print sizes,
it's
cover
pretty good
print
size.
sizes. Yeah.
And it's like I was going to take a picture of it because I was going to put it in the group, make a joke about it. And I could. It had a glare, so I told him I kind of picked it up, but I told Marshall, I said, "Come here and hold this." He said, "Hey, go, no." I said, "Come here and hold this." He said, "No." I said, "Marshall, come over here and hold this. I'm gonna take a picture." And he held it, and I took a picture of it. He said, "I'm gonna go tell Mom. I'm gonna go tell Mom."
Well, John, good deal passing not being let her put in her Cobra clutch like you did let Slaughter do. Good deal, everybody.
Yeah, right.
It was funny. John got a picture with her and Marshall together. And Marshall's it looks like he's probably about 20 foot away from her.
Yeah, he wouldn't get right next to her. And he had the funniest look on his face.
Can't imagine why. Poor kid.
And I'm telling Nancy about it. I mean, said Marshall, he wouldn't even get close to her, had this funny look on his face. And her takeaway from it was, you're smiling a lot more than what you should be. I do like her boots though. I thought those were kind of they're high heel too. I mean, they were high heel. I was like,
boy, I almost sailed right off into inappropriate land there for a second, but I caught.
Don't do it, Dave. PG-13.
Well,
Boy,
I'm glad I'm the only one with the not having the abnormal brain, because I almost went there too.
It just almost happened, and nope.
There were a lot of guys' wives showing up there just to kind of keep an eye on them.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, now we know why Melanie went.
Wow. Well,
I paid for Melody to go in and work.
I'll tell you, and it's the same thing that, of course, Wolf and them thought too. She's WWE wrestling, whatever. I guess she retired in 2010 or whatever.
Yeah.
And wrestlers draw crowds.
oh, sure.
But literally, there was hardly anybody coming up to her table. They were all going right past her to Squint's table. There were tons of people that come all the way there just to see Squint from Sandlot. And
That's
they were
cool.
bringing their kids,
Oh, yeah.
and all of them were the same story. Their kids watches the movie 4 or 5 times a year, let's say, or something like that. I mean, it's a movie made in '93. It's a baseball movie,
Right.
but it holds up throughout time because no matter what generation you're in, it's a fitting movie. I mean, and I was just amazed. I really thought the majority of the people would be at her booth, but they passed her by to come over to him. And,
Well, I tell you why that is. She was in the WWE during the PG era, and that was one of the weakest eras they've ever had.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't look too PG to me.
Well, it was PG, and women. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from women of that era. They're not near as the talented wrestlers as the women are today.
Oh, I'll give you that. Yeah.
Well,
they're
consider-
pretty awesome today.
Considering the women wrestlers I watched in my time was glow wrestlers, and they were just all for comedy relief.
The
So
glorious ladies of wrestling.
Yeah, right.
Whoa.
they do the little skits between wrestling matches and all.
Yeah.
It was like.
But just a shout out to Mr. Wolf. The next one you get needs to be Rhea Ripley, and maybe even my girlfriend will show up for that one.
Yeah. Well, I hope she did well. I mean, in all seriousness,
did.
I hope it.
Oh yeah.
I hope it paid for her. I mean,
Oh,
that's-
there's still a lot of people coming to see her. But
yeah,
still.
Yeah.
so that's good, right?
Believe it or not, it didn't. They were out of pocket on her. So
Well,
Really.
good.
yeah,
Good. I mean, that's good.
they were really, and I was too. I really expected there to be a more turnout. To see. And she was. I'll say this. She was super nice. I mean, she was friendly. And she was nice. There was one or two complaints that she was on her phone, but she got two small kids at home. That's why she flew in that morning. She took the red eye and got to Birmingham like at 6 a.m. Come to the show, and she was supposed to fly back out of Birmingham, but her flight got canceled until this morning, so they had to take her straight to Atlanta and catch it over there.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Because she tries not. She wanted to be back. I mean, she didn't want to be gone more than a day from her family. So
Sure.
I mean,
Nothing wrong with that. Good for her. I mean, kudos for that. She's a mom,
But there was like one complaint on the Gadsden Con about her being on her phone and all that, which she was. I think she was texting, but I think she was, talking to her kid.
I mean, what? Whoever the poor soul complained didn't get his marriage proposal in at the time that he wanted to. Give me a freaking
Yeah, and that was this thing that she didn't really interact with him. She just signed this thing and said, "Nice to meet you," and then went back to texting and all that. But I mean,
Well, okay.
the whole, from my experience up there, and like people that took pictures, she done videos with people. Obviously, I mean, and at no additional charge. I mean, it wasn't like she charged them for that. They bought a picture and then she done a little video and stuff for some of them, if they wanted it.
Well, I can tell you, every time I've ever had a booth at a show with all my skimpy photos and stuff, you get them creeps that come up there and you just don't want to talk to them. So,
I feel sorry for some of the talent, especially these days too. Some of them guys are a little bit too hazy.
Well, yeah, because
You wasn't getting to her. There ain't no way you was getting to her.
No,
Oh, yeah.
she'd probably break their arm for him anyway. But
We had two guys there on both sides just in case there was anything going.
yeah, it's all good. Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys had fun.
But yeah, it was. I was gonna tell you, it's funny. Marshall was like, I said, Marshall, why didn't you get a little closer? He goes, she's a wrestler. She might have put me in a move. I said, in a couple of years, Marshall, you're gonna want her to put you in a couple of years. He just kind of looked at me like, huh? What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
That's what I told him about that picture. I said, I'm gonna get that picture, put it in your room. He said, no, you're not. No, you're not. I said, trust me.
Boy.
2 or 3 more years, you'll be wishing you took me up.
He don't need to watch wrestling today. They got one called Stephanie McCurry. One of her singers called The Devil's Kiss. He don't want to be involved in that deal.
Jeez, wouldn't think so.
No.
So
Now, me,
anyway,
on the other hand, she can sign me up anytime she wants to.
I did not. You know, I did literally. I quit watching wrestling probably when I was in high school, and probably 80. I mean, probably 89, 90, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And I hadn't watched a single wrestling match or anything until COVID. And honestly, there just wasn't much on TV because most of the stuff ain't worth watching nowadays. So probably around 21 there for about 2 years, I got into watching wrestling, and like I said, I didn't even realize they were actual full-time women wrestlers, because my experience with women wrestlers was like Glow. It was like a sideshow that was comic relief and stuff like that. It wasn't, So I didn't really. I mean, I knew like China and some of those. I'd heard, I knew of them, but I never watched wrestling or anything. So it was, and then I'm sitting here watching wrestling. And half the bouts were female wrestlers, and I'm like, well, I didn't realize they've had that many women wrestlers now. There's a ton of them, but I don't know.
They've actually had women main event WrestleMania now.
Well, let's face it. If you look at from what I've seen, it very much so appears to be that professional wrestling has gone in the other direction. They're looking for lighter, smaller, faster, lot less injury prone, versus the 300 and 400 pound guys that break things just coming to the ring.
They call it the high flying stuff.
I mean, they're looking for the only one I can think of right off the top, like the Rey Mysterio type, or like the Hardy Boys, where it's high kinetic, fast.
Yep.
And they're just not going to get hurt as often, And the girls would fit right into that because let's face it, they're smaller, and they're gonna. Even the biggest of girls is nowhere near as big as the biggest of guys. So
right. Well, I got out of wrestling around 2000. And my girlfriend, she got me back into watching. She loves Rhea Ripley. And to my opinion, the women now, they're better as, if not better, than some of the men wrestlers.
They are. They can do just as much,
Well, sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the neat thing about that particular athleticism. Is the main thing is don't actually hurt each other. So.
That's pretty big girls there in Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's some bluegrass girls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to watch out.
That's
for them,
what
man.
I didn't, like I said, I'm learning. I had to learn all the wrestling. I didn't know who they were. I kind of took a liking to Sasha Banks. She's kind of short and fast and like zoom,
Yeah.
I think her finishing move's the bank statement. So, well, I said, I know that one works because it gets me every month.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that sucker's flattened me 1,000,000 times.
No doubt.
So that's a good finishing move.
I have to kick out of it every month.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
But I can't remember who was that. Who was that? You probably know, Corey. Who was that? She was kind of teamed up with, and then they kind of
Bailey.
They separated.
No, Naomi. So he's talking about. They got mad and left.
Bailey
I don't remember. I remember they was in a bout or something, and one of them hit the other by accident, and they ended up breaking up and ended up becoming enemies or something like that.
That was.
That's probably Bailey. That's Bailey. Yeah.
Bailey. I think it was Bailey. Yeah, but it was.
I thought you were talking about when her and Naomi walked out of the WWE before a show.
I don't remember Naomi. I do remember Bailey. Bailey was kind of big, wasn't she?
Naomi got to come back because she's married to one of Roman Reigns' cousins. one of Rock's cousins. So she got to come back. Yeah.
Oh, so Sasha's not wrestling anymore?
She's in.
I think she's an AEW.
Oh, okay.
Under her,
Like I said,
I think her real name is Mercedes Monroe.
Mercedes
Monet.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so yeah. I like I said, I hadn't watched it in the last I hadn't watched any this year, so I watched there for about 2 to 3 years, and then I've just got back out of it. So.
No, I mean it's been a long. I mean, I was a fan during the Attitude Era, but
Oh yeah,
that's where I ended mine at.
That was a long time ago now. So,
but you still got guys from that era kicking around. You got CM Punk. You got Brock Lesnar still around.
see, I was even out of it before Lesnar was around. I had given up on it before that. So.
Yeah. See, I think I went out right around the time the Undertaker come in, because I don't think I've really seen him wrestle back in the day. So
well, that'd be in the 80s then. He come in like 88 or 87.
Very late.
Yeah, that's why I say it was probably 88, 89, somewhere in there. When
He said when he was a teenager. So. Yep.
But anyways, that's cool. Been kind of quiet, pop culture wise. It's been kind of quiet the last couple of weeks. I would like to real quick give a shout out to Billy Holland. He gave me this at the con. I was actually looking at it on eBay, and he posted in the group if anybody's interested. And I told him, I said, "Yeah, I want it." I think it's an awesome cover, and this is GI Joe #1, by the way. The Marvel when they done the facsimile, and they done multiple covers, and this was one of the covers they done for the facsimile. Cool. But there's one. This is a virgin dress cover. But the regular one, I looked at it on eBay too, and it had like word bubbles, and she was saying something like after 40 years, and I still look good, or something like that, because it's been like the 40th anniversary. But he brought it and he just gave it to me. He said, "Man," he said, "I know you wanted it." I said, "I'm just gonna give it to you." I said, "Well, I'll be glad to buy it from your trade or whatever," but he gave it to me, so I appreciate that. And I'm gonna post. I hadn't had time to post nothing in the group yet either, but.
I'll tell you what, that book right there would look awesome on one of these awesome stands.
Yep.
That holds a figure and a comic.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a rant that for later on.
Emmett.
Yeah, thank you, Emmett, Dave. Like I said, I got a rant about that for later on.
I think I will. I think I'll put this on there with the Pilot Baroness, because I like that one best.
I was thinking the one that come with the coil would look really good with that one too.
Yeah. Or a retro card.
Because that is a really good. The one with the coil is a really good Baroness.
Did that fail?
I can't tell who the artist is. I got all the cover artists listed, but you can't tell, and you can't tell by the signature because I put it back in plastic. Now I got a glare on it, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'll have to do a little digging. I hate it when they just put all the cover artists in but they don't tell you who done which cover. Yeah. That just aggravates me. But anyway.
Yeah, like you're just supposed to know.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do that, at least sign your name where your people can read it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, Gadsden was pretty good.
Good.
I had a good time there. Talking to everybody. Met a lot of the guys in the group. I wouldn't name them all, but I would forget somebody, and then I would feel bad about that.
I hear that, yeah.
But I did meet several of our guys were there, and they were repping the shirt like Dave got on there. And I think they all had a good time. Seen everybody, all of our guys walking out with a lot of stuff at one time.
I didn't get this. I saw some in passing because they passed by the stage, but I didn't. There was a lot of them there I didn't get to talk to.
Yeah. I would say we had probably 20 or 30 of our guys there easily. Yeah. And our ladies. We had several. I'm
gonna forget your name because I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. So that's just me. No disrespect. That's just me.
I got my shadow here apparently. Huh?
You're probably
I did run into Emmett there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how he was surviving with that big long black jacket on.
I know, right? He likes that
It was so
cosplay
hot
stuff.
in there.
Oh, up on that stage with them lights, man, it was burnt.
Yeah.
We'd like to burn up there.
Didn't ever see Silas. He was too fast for me.
Eat too fast. That's right.
He way too fast.
You know, I
Yeah.
don't think I saw him neither.
No,
You
he was on
wouldn't
the
have because
move.
he was chewing.
I got you.
He was on the move.
He was gone. He was going from the time he got there.
That's not gonna do anything, bud.
You're not gonna do nothing.
But
Well, I tell you, they had a little bit of everything there. Whatever you're looking for, they had it. Because I even seen it. It was one had like a booth set up with clothes in it. Some kind of I don't know what kind of clothes they were.
they were one booth had vintage wrestling shirts in it. Had like a lot of Stone Cold, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, the Hardy Boys, a bunch of stuff like that. I think he was Jeremy Cowart's cousin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I had it right there by Jeremy.
Yeah, and then there was another over there by Brock, another guy in our group. They were selling some retro shirts, like Star Wars and whatnot, and they done really well too.
Were they the ones there close to the stage, the exit of the stage? There was somewhere they had several racks full of clothes on.
No,
them.
they were up closer to Andrew's booth.
Okay. Well, I don't know because I glimpsed at them. I didn't really pay close attention. They looked like just clothes to me. I can tell, but I walked by when they were packing up, and there was two ladies running, and I said, "Did y'all do good?" And they said, "We done great." So I'm like,
they had the one closer to the stage had a lot of like vintage gaming shirts, like Mario,
okay.
what like that, you know.
Okay. I wasn't really expecting to see a booth with just clothes in it, so it surprised me. But she said they done really good. So
Cool.
all the vendors I talked to, in passing there when they were packing up, I said, "Hey, how'd you do?" And they all of them said they done good. So
I think everybody did really well.
Yeah.
I didn't ever hear a total count of how many people was there, but there was a bunch.
Yeah, there was a bunch.
It was crowded.
Mm-hmm.
It was packed. The poor hallway. You couldn't hardly get through the hallway
Yeah.
because there was so many people there.
Yeah,
That's good.
And they had John Anderson was in the hallway.
John's the riot.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a riot.
He was there in the hallway, and man, there was people all around his booth there talking to him and getting pictures and autographs and just different things. And that was mainly the hallway was mainly like they had a few car vendors in there, and they had some jewelry people and like some 3D printing, the little snake things, the little dragon 3D printed things, but that was it. And then, of course, there was a couple of writers in there, book writers.
Mm-hmm.
They were in there also. But it was so crowded in that little hallway, it was unreal.
So they had like vintage T-shirts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, let's have a prayer for the Lord. Lord, I pray my girlfriend's not watching this video because next time she will go back, and that's where I will spend all my money at.
Oh, yeah. They had,
Man.
like I was saying, they had retro gaming shirts there. They had retro wrestling shirts, retro Star Wars and G.I. Joe shirts, different stuff like that. And I mean, they were the legit old stuff. They weren't repos. They were the old shirts from back in the day.
Cool.
From the 80s, 90s. But it was good. It was so hot in there, though.
Yeah.
I had
It
to
wasn't
go
to
out.
start off with. It was cool when
I had to go out into the foyer several times just to cool off.
I don't guess they mind me telling this because I think I already kind of talked about it with a lot of people in here. But July show, the plan is do a Friday night viewing, so the vendors can come up and have the whole morning or good part of the day Friday to set up where they're not having to rush. That way, Saturday morning they can actually start earlier than 10 o'clock. Because it's just that they weren't able to, because they had an event Friday night there at the venue, so they couldn't. We couldn't even go in and start setting tables up or start setting anything up until 7 a.m. And the vendors had to get everything set up. They had 3 hours to get in, get everything set up, and we had to get everything organized. And it was a madhouse. And so, but the plan is The thing is, they have to, because it's owned by the city. The venue's owned by the city. They require you to hire a off-duty police officer to stay overnight if you rent it, like that. So they'll have to pay a security for one night, but the amount of time it'll take, stress off people and all, it'd probably be worth it. Because I wouldn't imagine it'd be more than $200 to pay them anyway. I mean, if they're making that kind of money, then I'm gonna volunteer to security down there if they make more.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'll do security for a 25% discount on all booths.
Yeah, right.
But that'll be a lot better. Then they can do the early bird on Friday, and then they maybe still do an early bird for an hour on Saturday morning. But when you get in earlier, the show can start earlier, and I think that'll be a lot better. So,
cool. Yeah, very good.
Well, I tell you one thing that did concern me, especially after hearing about the Pokemon store getting busted into, and over $100,000 of cards robbed at gunpoint, was security.
Where was this at?
I can't remember
New York.
where it was at, but someone busted into a shop, and there was over 40 people inside the shop during the broad daylight.
Oh,
and
really?
Robbed them all at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And took well over $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
Well, if they just robbed the people in there buying them, they probably took $100,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They took like graded cards and everything. So
Yeah.
Look, people. Look, people, it's just a slogan. You ain't got to catch them all.
They said that the report I read on that said that there was over $1 million up for grabs in that particular instance, but they ended up getting over $100,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Crazy, huh?
It is crazy. It's insane.
I've seen some crazy collectors do some crazy stuff with Pokemon cards, bringing scales out and everything.
Oh well, yeah. GameStop will throw you out forever if you walk in there with a scale now. You'll be banned from the store forever.
And also, one of those mini metal detectors too.
Yeah, looking for the foil.
Because they have some of the cards has the metal in them.
Yep.
The foil. And
scalpers at their best,
they will
right
definitely.
there. Yep, high-tech scalpers. Isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
And we grab about scalpers in our field. At least they ain't breaking out metal detectors.
And they're even doing that in baseball cards now, playing baseball card boxes and packs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, they're everywhere, man.
Yeah, I
think the Pokemon. Oh, they are. They are. They're bringing in those mini metal detectors, and they're.
I think when they bring in the little scales, I think I should charge them 1 count of drug paraphernalia. Technically, that is drug paraphernalia.
Well, if you can prove it was used for that. But.
Well, it's kind of hard to prove you can't dis or undisproved, just enough to get them out, off the street for maybe a day and a half. Let other people get the cards.
Yeah, it was insane, man.
But that's the hard thing. We've had that conversation a million times. The worst part about scalpers is it's us collectors that feed them. So we are the reason that they stay doing what they're doing, and that's a fact. So,
double-edged sword.
Like I said, we've had that conversation a million times.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it is what it is. So
it is.
Anywho,
we got another video.
Oh, okay. Let's do that
to share along with everyone.
Were you able to hear it good, Shane? I didn't know how it turned.
Oh
out.
Yeah.
I know it was kind of loud, so it was kind of on the spot thing. There, we had a minute, so I don't know. I'm not as good at it as Dave.
No.
Well, I said we were going to have it.
Well, we was talking about the difference between Squints and Kelly Kelly. Kelly Kelly was a professional wrestler and performer. Squints is almost pop culture at this point.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's definitely pop culture.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to wait on this one for just a second, guys.
All right.
So
Did you get the pictures I just sent you?
I did.
Okay. Whenever you want to show those, I'll talk about that too. That's something very unique. I thought I got more pictures, but I guess I didn't. So.
There's not a male adult he's got it now. Go ahead.
So Squints was at Wolf Den from 1 to 4 today, and we went up there, and this guy actually brought. I think he said it was a 1943 Plymouth. I believe it was a 43. And I didn't get a picture of the whole car. I don't know why I didn't get a picture of the whole car, but he has taken that thing around and had celebrities autograph the inside of that trunk lid.
really,
And he asked him if he would go out and autograph that. So we walked out back. He had it pulled around back. We walked out back, and that's pictures of Squint there with the guy. That's the guy in the orange, wearing the Dukes of Hazzard hat. And if you go on to the next picture there, Shane, I think I got a couple of them, but I actually got one of the lid. But he had like Henry Winkler. I forget who all he told us he had signed it.
holy cow!
And and there's some inside the car on the dash too that he had signed it too. But I don't know. There's probably well over 100 signatures on that lid there.
Oh, that's cool.
Of different people. He talked about some swamp people. I guess that's the show.
Mountain Man from Duck Dynasty.
Mountain Man, yeah.
Josh from the Moonshiners.
Yeah, he mentioned Moonshiners. I don't know who all. It just. I thought that was pretty neat because he Squint said that was definitely up in the top of his list of odd things to
Yeah, right.
I mean, he actually autographed a car.
That's pretty cool.
And the guy came for he lived 2.5 hours away. He drove down here for 2.5 hours to get down here to get his signature on.
I wonder how many baseball bats Squints has signed in his lifetime.
Oh, there's no telling. He signed a bunch of baseballs over the weekend.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought y'all find that interesting.
There's Robert Pine, SARS from Chips.
Yeah, he's got Eric Estrada on there somewhere too.
That's cool.
I do remember him saying Eric Estrada.
Very cool.
That is neat.
I don't know who all he's had a lot of. Like I said, I bet there's over 100 signatures just on that. And he did have, like I said, he had some on the dashboard too and all in there. But that car's beautiful. I mean, it was. I don't know why I didn't get pictures of the whole car. And he got in there and crunk it up. He had it on a flatbed trailer, pulling it. He was pulling it. He didn't drive it. He pulled it up there behind. Behind his truck. And I should have got Nancy. She had pictures of the whole thing, but I just thought that was pretty neat. I'd never seen anything quite like that before.
That is cool. I mean, I've seen cars and bikes that have been signed like that, but
yeah.
See Willie from the Swamp People from our Duck Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Not that many. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure you got pictures of everybody that signed it too.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But that area is there he is signing it, so you can kind of get an idea of where he signed it at.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat. He said he's had a few celebrities that, wouldn't do it. No, wouldn't do it.
Right.
But he said the majority of them usually do.
Yeah, I believe that.
The Spidey bag. I didn't see that. I didn't even get to walk outside of the parking lot other than
I didn't see it either.
Lunch. So I missed it.
Cool.
Yeah. I was up on that stage most of the show, and when it was finally kind of died down, I said, "Well, I'm gonna go look around," and people were already starting to pack up, and I'm like, "Well, that's good. It saved me a lot of money. I didn't spend."
Well, that is true, right?
So.
Very cool.
All right. Is the video going to be able to play?
I don't know. Having issues with it. It's not wanting to play.
Something about StreamYard. I don't know. we have a lot of trouble with StreamYard when it comes to playing video.
Well, I think they keep changing the agreements all the time on this stuff.
It's the
this software is compatible, and then next week it's not because they changed the agreement, and then we'll use this, and then that one's not. And it's some of these third party things are a real pain, unless you're going to spend a fortune on production software, which we're not. It's just tough. I mean, it's tough. So while Shane's doing that, did any of you guys get tangled up in the Ultimates Endgame blind bag comic disaster that last week in December?
No, didn't hear nothing about it.
I didn't either.
Apparently, to end the Ultimates universe, Marvel decided to do all of the. I think there was 6 of them. Don't quote me on that, but I think there was 6 of them. To this Ultimates Endgame. The last issues were supposed to be released in blind bags. And guys got them and shops got them and almost immediately discovered that literally the damage rate is between 90 and 100% of those books are damaged. The inner sleeve is stuck to them. The inner sleeve is torn. The inner sleeves are blank. The spines on the books are all creased. And literally, I watched one guy that opened 10 books, and every one of them was damaged. So I didn't know if any collectors on here or listening had gotten tangled up in that, because that apparently Marvel's solution so far has been to tell the customers to go ahead and cut the covers off and send them back at the customer's expense. It's like, that's great business right there. You guys send out blind bags with damaged comics in them, and your response is pay your own shipping. I can't even imagine. There's a lot, and Marvel was pretty spotty to begin with, so I guess there's a lot of collectors that are very angry over that.
Wow, I imagine so.
Yeah. So, 80. They figured 90 to 100% damage rate on those books.
Wow.
And they were packaged that way.
So if you got one that's in 9.8 condition or better, you probably get a good price for it then.
Possibly. They said that the preview issues, apparently a week or two before, some shops got preview issues. They said that there had been absolutely no reports of any damage with any of those at all. But the regular release books are just an absolute disaster. So
it's almost like it was done on purpose.
Well, if you look at the damage and you look at what happened, it's pretty plainly obvious that it was the printer just being lazy. Just tossing books in bags and not caring about how they're stapled and not caring about how that inner sleeve was or wasn't attached. A lot of those inner sleeves were caught up in the staples of the book. It was supposed to be like a slip cover that just comes off, and they were stapled to the books.
Oh, wow.
Just an absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. So that's not helpful with, a comic industry that's still pretty rocky right now.
For real.
And let me get this straight. Marvel's answer to this is to cut off the covers, send them back at your expense, and do you have to pay shipping and handling to get the new book back?
They haven't said anything about getting a new book. That's the problem. They haven't said a thing about replacing those books. They're talking about giving your money back for the books that you already bought. But from what I have heard and seen, there's no word on those books actually being replaced. So
you get your money back and you're stuck with a book with no cover.
Well, you're stuck with a book with no cover that goes to a series that's the finale of a series. Yeah. So it's really not good. And for whatever reason, Marvel Publishing is not handling this well at all. John will tell you that's always been the practice. If you get a damaged book, you were to cut the cover off and send it back. And then you got your money back, or you got a replacement book, whatever your deal was with the distributor. But in this instance, they're talking apparently refunds at some point, but there is no talk of those books being replaced. Which
did Emily from Hasbro get a new job?
I don't know. I think it's the same printers out of Canada. I mean, most comics have been printed in Canada for 50 years now. So, but no, it was very obvious that just printer didn't care.
I take it the blind bags because there were different covers, and you just, is that what the blind bags were for?
Well, yeah, basically they were trying to hide the variant covers. It looked like to me that there was printing on the actual cover that told you which issue you were getting, because I think it was like there were like 6 finale books from 6 different Ultimate titles, but they were in blind bags to hide the variant cover.
Right.
So there was writing on the bag that told you which one, which title you were buying.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But they were trying to hide the variant in that sleeve, and that's where it kind of fell apart. Because, like I said, the sleeves were half of them was stapled to the comic itself. They were stapled on the top staple of the spine, and then the spines were all dinged up like they'd been stapled crooked. You know, a cover will crinkle if it's not stapled straight. They had multiple crinkles down the spine where they just weren't assembled correctly. So yeah, I don't know. Marvel kind of really pooched it on that one because
for sure.
Well, if you need another reason to hate Canada,
I didn't need one. No, I just
that was like the Mark Spears Monsters #8. Those were all blind bag. And there were 75 different covers, and I put Wolf got a stack of them. I just out of curiosity, I bought 3 of them and opened them. I got a foil out of one of the 3. I don't know if it's worth anything or not, but he had but they were all in mint condition. There were no issues with it.
Yeah. No, I mean that seems to be comic collectors now collect covers. That's what I've been told repeatedly.
Exactly.
Comic book collectors are collecting covers. They don't even read the books anymore. They don't read them.
No.
They don't have any. They couldn't care less what the title is. Even they're just collecting the covers.
No. I'll admit if I see a really cool cover on a book that I don't read, I'll get the cover unless it's like $30-$40 or something, you know. But,
yeah, right. Yeah, one of the extreme, 1 in 200s or whatever.
Yeah, but if I see one I like, I'll get it just for the cover if I like the cover on it.
Take that Godzilla book.
Well, I ordered a foil cover from IDW just the other day on a Godzilla book, but that was IDW exclusive. They didn't even send those to the shops because, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not sure the shops wanted them.
No.
So I mean, there's always that, but I don't get into variant covers.
say there was a guy come up with these ideas for this thing. It actually made me want to go buy comics this morning. So, which I got a bone to pick with him. If he ain't gonna start making them himself, he at least needs to copyright these things. In case somebody else starts decides to make them himself, he can at least get his cut.
Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to claim any kind of ownership over prints like that.
Too bad I'm gonna do it.
Good luck. I suggest making more of them first.
Yeah, I would make more. That way, when you're at a con, you come up to your date. Hey, can I have $20? Well, if you had a whole bunch of money, you'd have a whole bunch of money. You wouldn't have to ask people.
Yeah, I don't know. He'd have more money.
Great idea.
I will tell you that Sasquatch has got a ton of them.
Which I'll tell him right now. I only had one comic book in the house, and I got a picture I sent to Shane, and it looks awesome.
One of what?
Because I only had one page puncher comic book in the house, and that's why I put it on. Especially people collect page punchers. That's the ideal thing for them. If they don't want to leave it in the eggshell.
Well, especially with so many of these figures that are being produced now are based on specific cover art.
Right.
If you look how that's designed, it's designed to have a boarded a bagged comic put upright. There you go, with your figure in front.
Mm-hmm.
And they're full colors. Full colors.
So yeah, that's the design right there, and where he's working on one that is for carded figures, so that, like, say for instance, you've got OG Joes on, recarded or whatever, or even on the original cards. Your bubble, your figure will sit in the stand like the comic does, and of course your bubble with your figure on it is to the right, and the stand will be offset to the left, so that you can have a loose version of the same figure, with the carded figure in the stand. We just haven't worked that one out.
I like this blue.
The only thing I would say, if you're going to do retro figures, don't do pegs for the loose figure. Do foot clips.
Oh no, those will have a waist. Those will have a waist.
Oh, okay.
Or a peg for the back. We're not going to be splitting any heels.
I was determining whether waist or peg. I think I might do a peg that goes into their back, or I will do it so you can swap out the attachment from peg to clip.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, some figures you really want the backpack on. Some it doesn't really matter.
Swap out the peg or the clip.
That's the only catch with the waist ones is most of the time the waist clips won't go on with the backpack on. So
yeah.
But
do a thigh clip.
The problem with that, Corey, is a lot of the figures have pouches and bags and holsters that are molded on. So it's not one size fits all by any means. You can't even do it at the ankle because there's different boots and different. That's why.
Well, even with the vintage Joes, some of their knees get real loose, and foot clips are still going to be hard to hold them up.
I personally like being able to just gently plug into the hole in the backpack of the torso of the figure. That's my preference. And the good thing with the OG figures is they're all the same height.
Yeah.
So you just have to make an armature at an angle that plugs into that hole, and you're good to go. And I think you'll find that's probably the same with Superpowers and Secret Wars and almost any of the other 3 3/4 from that time. But those.
What about making a stand for the retro carded classified figures?
Maybe.
The only difference is the depth of the channel.
Maybe.
That's the only difference.
Well, that way you don't do it like with a peg just flat and don't have a place for a open figure. Just enough to stand it up. You want to set them on a table or stuff like that.
Yeah, you can do that relatively easily. The only problem is you may. I'd really have to measure those spaces because you're only going to be able to hold. You're only going to be able to channel the card away from the bubble. Because if I'm thinking right, the bubble, there's no space between the bottom of that bubble and the bottom.
There's not. There's not.
So you're getting. And to be honest with you, you're getting kind of wide. If I'm not mistaken, those card backs are wider than a comic, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd have to go size one up.
Yeah, they're wider than a comic. I'm pretty sure they're wider.
They are. I think they're wider than a comic by a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch wider.
Maybe for something like that, for like the retro card G.I. Joes, you could put clips on the top, and then you could like slide them up and then push your figure onto the base.
Actually,
You know what I'm talking about?
really
Yes.
Something like that.
I do. Yeah, friction fit, fold
Friction
in on
fit,
the
yeah.
top. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, without pinching the card.
Right.
That's an
Just
interesting idea.
just a little snug fit, nothing tight. Just, that'd probably be a good way to do it. Because then you got the support of the base, and the clips up top will be holding it.
You're talking about just the card without the figure on it, right?
No, figure
A
not.
card with a figure on it. Yeah.
Or you can do it with a card.
That's what I was saying because I open mine, but I'll take a knife and just cut around it, so I don't cut the card back. I leave the card back whole. But it'd be cool if you put the figure on there and then put the card back behind it with a file card facing out.
Yeah.
Turn it backwards.
That's an interesting idea too. Yeah, I mean, you could mount it however you wanted to, because how it mounted wouldn't matter if the bubble was on it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, interesting. Interesting. He had been working on flight stands for 3 3/4 and even down to like 5-inch figures. But I got to tell you, to be competitive, it's really impossible. I know McFarlane flight stands popped back up at Walmart the other day at $13 a piece.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen a McFarlane flight stand.
Yeah, they used to sell them separately all the time, and they're selling them now at $13 a pop, and they're clear acrylic, you know, with metal hardware and everything else. That's very hard to compete with.
Oh yeah, because
they're
they
very
mass produce them, you know.
Yeah, they're very, very nice.
There you go.
So, well, no, yeah,
has
but
to pay royalties.
you can't print them in clear like he can.
No, but I can put any logo I want on it.
Well, you can, but that's all stuff that I've been telling you to work on over the last few months.
Any logo anyone wants.
So, there's that.
All right, I'm ready to try that video again if you want to.
Yep, let her fly.
Oh, let's see here. I said I was.
But I do have plans going to Walmart sometime tomorrow to get what I call the junk comics to match up with some McFarlane stuff. That way to fill out these other stands, and I'm going to use them to sit on my table over here where I got my gargoyles at right now. Move them around somewhere else.
Can you hear it?
No.
No.
Sound is biting you again. That is so frustrating.
Now, why did it work with Kelly Kelly?
I don't understand. For those of you that don't know, we used to do a ton of interviews. You know, from Larry Hama on, you know, Bill Ratner. We did a ton of interviews the last show in Chattanooga, and we just couldn't get the sound distinct, if not play at all. So,
although we did post them on another channel.
well, yeah, no, we didn't post all of them,
We posted most of them.
but I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. If any of you tech gurus out there know, let us know, would you? Because it's really frustrating to put all the work into these interviews and spend time with these people and not be able to use it. And it's not Shane's fault. It's something with this
They change this stuff all the time on us.
quack show or whatever this thing's called. And they do. Like I said, they have all of these different agreements with all of these different software vendors, and they change the licenses every 2 weeks, and one thing works and one doesn't. I have a ton of interviews that I've been waiting to do that I have not done because I got no place to put them. So the creator of Forest Envy.
Kelly Kelly. Now this one is not to work.
It's different.
Yeah, right there.
What?
Being a doofus. Yeah, I saw it. It's not that funny.
They got choked back there.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
We can always hope. What is this stupid thing?
Where are you trying
Can
to
you hear it?
Get rid of that.
I can't. It's not even. It's
They're just kind of glitching around.
That's
Yeah.
not even playing.
Oh well. My bad.
That stinks.
On to the
Maybe
I
next
just
show.
looked
post it on the page or something.
I just looked it up on Google. There's like 1,001 fixes.
Yeah, none of
We
them.
only need one. Yeah, we only need one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's
Yeah,
give us
that's
one
right.
that works.
From clearing your cache to checking the audio mute button. So who knows?
Anyway, I'll share it to the page, the group page,
There
and
you go.
everybody can
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
have a good time with that.
We talked, of course, the first. I mean, I didn't ask him any questions. I because like I said, it was spur of the moment. He said, I thought, hey, Shane won't go up here and see if he just answer a few questions for us. And so, of course, I'd been talking to him all day, and I knew a lot of the stuff, so I was kind of trying to play off what we talked about. But the one thing, and I honestly, I'd intent we were going to watch Sandlot because I probably haven't watched a movie in 30 years, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I'm not even sure if I've seen it all the way through, but I'm pretty sure I've seen most of it because I remember bits and pieces. But of course, everybody come up there, they were talking about how they watch it 5-6 times a year, 5 or 6 times a month. And I'm talking about kids of all ages come up there wanting to meet him because they watched the movie.
Sure,
Well,
yeah.
it's definitely a pop culture thing. I mean, it's one that goes from, and that's what it's amazing a lot, especially anybody that's into baseball. They watched it as a kid, and when they got grown, they showed it to their children, and they're just, and it's just kind of, it's held up the test of time, unlike a lot of movies made in that era. But he was 11 years old when he filmed the movie, and Wendy, the lifeguard, was 17 or 18, I think she was. So I don't
18.
but 18, yeah. So the one question that I bet he got asked 5,000 times yesterday was, how many takes did y'all have to do in the kiss scene where you kiss Wendy? And his response every time was, as many as I could make it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think it would say not enough.
But that was one of the questions I asked him in there, to get that, because he talked about that. But I don't remember if we mentioned it in the interview, but he did say, because James Earl Jones, I guess, made a small appearance in the movie, and he's because somebody asked him about James Earl Jones meeting him and all that. He said he was only there for one day, and he was to fly in, come there. They filmed it in Salt Lake City. That's where they filmed it at. It's supposed to have been in Los Angeles, but they filmed it. But the movie was actually filmed in Salt Lake City. And he said that he was supposed to fly in that morning, come there, do his part, fly back home. And they were on a strict deadline to get his part done and all that. So they didn't really get to interact with him much. But they said when he got off the plane, he told his driver he needed to go by the mall. And said he went by the mall and spent an hour and a half in the mall. And they were freaking out because he hadn't showed up at the set yet to do his parts. And then they were at the mall shopping.
That's funny.
So it's the producers and directors and all those just freaking out, like, where's he at? Waiting here.
He was on a toy hunt. He had to go check out the KB or something, right?
I wonder. Here's what I want to know. They told him no. Did he do the Jedi mind trick and make the driver drive them all anyway?
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all saw the episode of Big Bang Theory that he was on.
Yes.
Where
I have. Yeah.
Pretty much everybody. After hearing him tell that story yesterday, I'm kind of wondering if that's not kind of his real life personality.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably is.
That he was just a carefree, let's have fun with it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me guess. You like Star Wars. I like Star Wars too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines out of the whole series. It ain't funny anymore, James.
Yeah, right.
Carrie Fisher is ringing her doorbell. She said that was really the first time she met him. Was when they done that episode.
Yep. Isn't that wild? It was. I read the same thing. They had never met all those years.
All those years.
But all his stuff was filmed in a booth in a studio, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just done the voice.
After 40 years between shows and talk shows and movie premieres and the Oscars. You know what I'm saying? You would think they would have run into each other least once in 40 years.
Yeah, you think so?
You know, man, because it's not like both of their careers ended or anything. They were still working and busy. Never met.
Well, technically, her career probably ended. I know his didn't. Because I couldn't after Star Wars, I couldn't tell you anything she ever done after Star Wars.
Oh, she was in a lot of things.
She did a ton of comedies and stuff. Oh, she did a lot of movies in the 80s.
Was it Harry Met Sally?
Yeah, she did a lot of stuff in the 80s. A lot of romantic comedies. She was never the leading lady ever again. She was always like a side character.
Yeah.
But no, she did a ton of stuff in the 80s.
Yeah,
tons of stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm saying I'm comparing to his career.
Oh yeah, no, he surpassed her as far as lead roles. That's for sure. But she probably did as many movies as he did.
Yeah,
she just wasn't the lead.
He had one of those unique voices, sort of like Morgan Freeman, that just people were drawn to.
Right.
With a commanding, strong voice, like Darth Vader. You want somebody,
Yep.
Well, as a kid growing up, I only remembered him for Darth Vader and Mufasa.
Yeah.
Well, some of us remembered him from Roots before Star Wars.
Exactly.
Roots. Yeah.
Because geez, when Roots came out, I was a kid, in grade school when Roots came out, and it was, that was basically mandatory watching. They had been in touch with all of the school systems and stuff before that show even came out, so they had kind of worked it into our curriculum that it was part of our schoolwork to watch that miniseries. So, so that was, things were different back then.
And I remember he was in Coming to America with Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah,
yes,
yep.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, it was his dad.
Yep.
Field of Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the first Clear and Present Danger, wasn't he? The first.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Playing big CIA guy in that movie. Yeah, I mean, tons of stuff. Tons and tons of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I did go today and watch the Sandlot myself because Chauncey did tell us something about when they did film the pool scene about it was probably the coldest day they was there filming. And he said, if you watch closely, you can actually see all of our teeth chattering. So I went back just to watch that scene, and sure enough, you can see their teeth chattering.
Yeah. Wow.
He's standing on the diving board, and after he takes his glasses off to jump in to pretend like he's drowning.
Yeah.
You can literally see his teeth chattering when he smiles at her. It was funny though.
It was the middle of summertime in Salt Lake City. He said it was hot, but they just had a rain come through and cooled off.
Yep.
And it was 65 degrees that day they were filming in the pool. He said the one day they was filming in the pool like that, it was 65 degrees.
That's funny.
But he said they shot it. They started in June the 15th. It was right after they got out of school. And they finished up in August, just before they started back to school.
Wow.
So they shot that movie in like 2 months' time.
Wow. Some long days for them kids.
Yeah. And that's pretty good for kids too. I mean,
sure is.
So
sure is.
But yeah. Yeah, it's cool talking to them because they kind of give you a behind the scenes look at things, and
yeah, exactly.
I had said a lot of big celebrities are, I ain't saying that they wouldn't sit around and tell you stories and all like that, but they're usually busy and they're bombarded and all that. But guys like this that's got a cult following that loves their fans and
oh yeah,
I'll sit and talk to them. I mean he would sit and spend 5 or 6 minutes talking to people after he signed autograph stuff. Talking to them, they'd ask him questions and all that.
It's funny. I had a candid conversation when we were in Chattanooga. I had a candid conversation early Sunday morning before the show was even open, but Seth had let me in. I was there with Seth on a vendor pass anyways. That's where a lot of that the interviews and stuff were coming from. I had a candid conversation with one of the actors from The Walking Dead. I'm not going to tell you who because I stuck on him. I had a great conversation with him, and he told me right flat the deal with interviews is he said they are so strapped by contractual obligations and appearance rights and all kinds of crap like that he said unless we're going to get a lot of exposure, we're not going to do interviews because it's not worth the hassle to us. And it's just like, I can understand that. And that's what I was saying, what is a lot of exposure? And he said, thousands and thousands. He says, no one here is going to talk to a page, or a channel that's not in the tens of thousands of views. They're just not going to do it because their publicists get on them about that stuff because they're devaluing their brand.
I don't believe that at all.
And
I think more or less their people want a bigger cut of something.
Well, yeah, they don't get paid for the interviews, so it's all about exposure. It's about is it going to get me another job, and otherwise they ain't going to do it. So, I mean, they're polite about it and all. It's just the way that business is weird, anyways.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure if Kelly could just do that shout out to us because I know Ted DiBiase, somebody had asked him last time at the show, but because he's contracted under WWE, they won't let them support or
no.
What I'm looking for?
I talked to Sergeant Slaughter is the same way. They have what they call that Legends. They're under that Legends contract where they are restricted from talking to unless it's approved.
Right.
That person from Hasbro that had to get written consent to speak to us, and he's still willing to talk to us.
Yeah.
But Hasbro still hasn't signed off on it. So it's.
See, I hadn't seen Kaylee Kelly in a video game in a while. They put like Legends in. She may not be under a Legends contract.
Well, see, I think I heard her telling somebody because they were asking about it. I thought I heard her say she just recently signed the Legends contract, but she gave that shout out to us. So I don't know, or maybe she didn't know. Maybe it is fresh to her and she didn't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
I hope all our thousands of viewers don't pass it around and get in trouble or anything.
Well, as long as Manuel down there in Guadalupe doesn't run his mouth back to the WWE, we'll probably be all right. But
one viewer in Canada, he might say something.
Millions and millions of fans. Yeah.
Which to me, all that Legends contract is for them is basically a little bit of money for their retirement.
Yeah,
because they'll make figures and they'll put them in a video game and make a little money.
Well, and let's face it, the last thing the WWE wants is somebody to go on there and start telling all of the stories they're not supposed to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I'm sure they probably a lot of those.
Right. Yeah, you can't.
Right.
Not only would it destroy the character of the person that you're talking to, it could destroy a couple of dozen other classic characters.
Yeah.
And again, devalue the brand. So
it's just like Ventura got in a little hot water. He just signed a Legends contract with them back again. He said something on air. It was a cage match, and he said they was coward for going out the door. It kind of got him in a little bit of trouble. So they're kind of real strict in what they can say on air.
Oh well, yeah. Yeah, that stuff needs to be protected. That's their bread and butter. I mean, it's
And you got Mick Foley, which he kind of went off in La La Land and claims a certain individual, WWE don't distance himself from him, he's not renewed his Legends contract.
No,
well, Mick Foley's making money off appearances. So,
well, I don't know how that's going to go for him anymore either. So,
I don't know. People want to see him; he'll be all right. I don't know. No idea. But you know what? They're not going to. Most of those guys, they're not going to cut their friends' throats either by telling tales out of school and ruining their career and their legacy either. I'm sure there's one or two of them that would, but yeah, it's a funny business. All of it's all funny business, if you ask me. So Anyways, who's got anything they want to show off? You guys got anything you want to show off?
You do yours
I got
first.
Hang on, we'll let Corey run his first.
Okay.
I only got one thing. The toy champion. Well, here, show one. The toy champion of the week. He ain't on the throne, but throw him up there, Shay. That's the toy champion of the week, folks, from Dave. That thing is awesome. Like I said, I love everything about it.
Yeah, looks good.
And I didn't glue none of the stuff together. I just I used sticky tack for most of it.
Sure.
That's the champion of the week. I've been sick most of the weekend, and I ain't been out hunting and done nothing.
Cool.
So you got Torpedo, you got Wetsuit. They're going out to do some underwater cave diving or something over here.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, underwater spelunking.
Yep, that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
They're going noodling for catfish.
That's it. Yep.
Here we come, big boy.
Yeah, that's something I have no desire to do.
No.
I think it'd be fun.
I'm not sticking my arm anywhere in a hole I can't see where.
Yeah, that urge has never struck me, not once.
Maybe a couple times.
It'd be my luck. I'd reach down in there, a 60-pound snapping turtle on the other end of that hole.
Yeah. Looking at it the way it's set up right now. Going on, Tim. I got a gun from it's a M60 from Valiverse. I think will peg into your structure right there on the front of that boat.
It's just a round hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's just a round hole. You could, make a cradle thing out of channel or something without any problems.
Well, I think it's got a cradle and everything with it. It'll plug it right into that one at port for that long piece you got right there.
There you go. What's going on, Timothy? Did you get that line straightened out?
And Dave sent me what are they, skid steer or from the Dreadnoughts? I looked at that, got the parts out, and I looked at it. I was like, I'm gonna need an instructional video for this.
That one, you just the worst thing about that one is you got to put the rear suspension in those grooves. That U-shaped piece. You hang that off the frame first, and then you drop the frame over the top of that. And the bottom of the nose piece you have to glue into place. Everything else is real self-explanatory. Yeah.
Well, when I was looking at it last night, I was high on cold medicine too. So.
Well, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. But just the swamp skiers, don't leave them out in the sunlight too much. But all of the green parts are temperature sensitive. Those color change by temperature. The white body parts, those are UV sensitive. Those change by light. So you can have multiple fuses, multiple shifts going on depending on temperature and light. So
nice.
Yeah. So
I told Zartan he gonna have to wait for a little bit before I get halfway better. Where I can at least focus straight before he gets his vehicle.
Yeah, there you go.
John, you want to show your stuff?
Yeah. Well, so I honestly, I bought 4 action figures at the show, and 3 of them come from Ginger Kid.
Ginger Kid, yeah.
Yeah, Ginger Kid's booth. Before the show started, I walked by and I saw this, and he only had.
Oh man, you said I was in there.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Why is that? What's that?
I asked him if he had one.
There.
Yeah, he had one. He had
you
one.
Sucker, you.
And I said, you got? I said, is that the only one you got? And he said, yeah. Let me go ahead and get it because if not, it'll be gone. I didn't know you was looking for it, Shane.
Oh yeah.
No, I was looking for Dave.
Oh, if he'd have had two, I would have got them. I was going to get both of them, but
Yeah,
that's the
sure.
only one he
Heard
had.
this story before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to GameStop Wednesday, and I'll check and see if they got them, Dave.
If you don't find one, we'll share custody. I'll keep it a month, and you keep it a month.
Oh, there we go.
He'll send you the plastic covering.
Yeah, she can ride back and forth between on the moose, right?
But then later, I think when I got to walk around just for a minute with Shane, I went back over there, and then I realized he had the purple
Oh, the purple backhoe.
purple Batgirl, so I picked it up.
Nice.
And then right before I left, I went ahead and picked up Cardiac because I hadn't seen him in the store yet. I found Al and Hypno Hustler, but I hadn't found Cardiac, and he was one of the ones on my villain want list. So
Nice.
I picked him up, and after everybody was almost packed up, I was just going back through see if I could help people get stuff out or whatever, and I seen on the shelf for $10. I thought, hey, you had the Bombshell Batgirl
Oh, yes. Yeah.
for $10, and I said, well, I can't pass up a $10 figure like that.
Nice.
So that makes me want to get the other ones.
Yeah, that's the
Which I
problem.
think that Katana, I've already looked, and I think she's probably about $65-$70. So
Wow.
I'll probably get the rest of them. But I like those. I think they're neat. I especially like Mira. She looks like a sailor.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
get the
cool.
bell bottoms going there. Yep.
Yeah, but anyhow, I just thought that was cool for $10. I thought, hey, for $10. And then I picked up a few comic books. I got for $1. I got the
Nice.
facsimile issue.
Yeah, the facsimile, but still.
He had all the facsimiles for $1. All
Nice.
so I picked that up. I picked up a She-Hulk #1 for $1.
Mm-hmm.
The new one, and a Pirello. I found a Pirello cover, Warlord of Mars, for $1.
Very cool.
And then this was regular price, but this was one of the variant covers for G.I. Joe #1.
Yep.
And it's foil. The mask and all is foil part of it, and it's actually separated. You can take it, fold it over. I thought that was pretty cool, so I picked
Very
that
cool.
up. And then in another booth, I got a deal, and I got these, at a good price. I found because Spider-Man, Red Sonja, and Vampirilla. Those were the three main titles that I collect. And they had, which I didn't know Wizard. I knew they'd done like the Ash Can comics, the little things, but apparently Wizard put out some mini comics. This is #5.
Wow.
And I found one of those. They had #5. So I'm going to have to try to track down the other ones and see how many there even are. And I picked up a couple of Harris comics, Vampirilla's Revelations and Revelations Book 2. They had those. I got a good deal on these, and there's only like 3 issues of Vampirilla Monthly from Harris that I'm missing. And believe it or not, the one I found was actually one of the ones that I needed. Issue #9, where she teamed up with Shy or whatever her name is. And like I said, I got all these for like $3 basically, because it was going to be like $45, and he let me have them all for $30. So it was 10 books, averaged out about $30. Anytime I find a homage to Spider-Man #300, I have to pick it up. So it's just She and the Queen of the Jungle, a black and white version of it. And then I got a Virgin Dress of Red Sonja Linzer cover. And this one is sort of like a sketch art type thing. I don't know if you can tell. Found it. And this is Linzer's, the sketch art without the coloring and all on it. Because the regular issues got the title, the color, and all on it. But they done some of these, which I thought was pretty cool. There's that one, another one from Linzer, and then this one's got to be my favorite. This one right here, as you can see your comment. I thought that was pretty. I like that. It was my favorite one.
Jeez.
Peasant.
Yeah, right.
Tim wants to know, John, if that's
Yeah.
a G.I. Joe regular variant or a retailer incentive variant.
It's a. Hold on, I can tell you. I think I can tell you. Let me look right here. I put it in my CLZ database, so it usually tells those when I look at the description. Let me see here. There's so many G.I. Joe titles, it takes me forever to find them.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Let's see, that was Image. It's a die cut foil variant. Series premiere. I think it was I don't think it was like a special.
Yeah.
It was just $5.99. I mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't
so
like
that'd be a regular variant then.
yeah, it wasn't like one of those one out of 25 or one of those. So it was a regular variant. I also found, and I did not know they made these, and I found these. I'll make that one of them out. They're I mean, Vampirilla actually started out back in the 60s under Warren Publishing.
Yep.
And they done the magazine size Vampirilla books, but I didn't know Harris done a run of them back in the 90s. I found 2 of these. But these are actually like magazines. You got some story in it. I don't know if you can tell. You got some story in it, but then you got like advertisements and stuff. Like in articles.
Yeah, that was Young Frankenstein, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's actually got like articles. Well, there's a few articles and things like I don't know, cosplay and stuff like that in there. I mean, it's actually like a magazine. It's like a magazine and comic mix.
Huh.
So I thought that was pretty. I found he didn't even know, the guy that had them didn't even realize they made them. He didn't even realize he had them. He was flipping through there and we found them in there. But, I thought they were pretty neat. I don't know. This is number 4, and I forget what issue that is because it don't have the issue cover on top. So I'm gonna have to look see if I can track down these too and see how many of them they are. But
Plug with this computer.
I thought it was pretty cool. I always liked the big magazine sized books, like the Savage Sword of Conan and Savage Tales and those things. They don't fit well in comic book boxes. I know that. So
No, they don't.
you have to actually buy a magazine sized comic book box to put them in. But I don't know. But yeah, so that's all I got. I just picked up some comics, and I was surprised to find those because usually you don't. Most people bring Marvel and DC, and they'll bring some indie comics, but most of them are like Image or a Dark Horse, something like that. So it's hard to find like the Dynamite, Red Sonja, and Vampirilla books and stuff, And so I was surprised I found those.
Cool.
And like I said, I got a good deal on. Of course, it was right there at the end of the show. Everybody's packing up, so they probably would have sold me everything at a good deal.
Yeah, right.
You found a lot of stuff. You said you didn't get to look around because you're helping. You found a lot of stuff, but not looking around. I've noticed.
Well, like I said, the figures all come from Ginger Kids, except for that one was another booth, and they were almost packed up. That was just sitting there on the shelf. He hadn't put it in the box yet. And the comics I got from 2 different people. And they were both big comic booths, but like I said, they were one of the last ones to start packing up. So, because all they got to do is just put the lid on and start carrying them out.
Exactly,
so,
right. Yeah.
It wasn't like they had a lot of packing to do.
I can hear Nancy in the other room. Tell me about it.
But the best thing I saw vintage wise there, and was they had a booth that had 2 of the Inhuman monsters. You remember the Inhumanoids from the 80s?
Inhumanoids.
Mm-hmm.
They had Metlor and Tendril. And Tendril was in beautiful. I mean, it looked like it just come out of a package.
And it was a long thing, Tendril, too.
Yep. It was
It had
unbroken.
The longer veins.
Unbroken, complete. It was a beautiful figure. They wanted $400 for it. And,
I think say woo.
Yeah. And I think it wanted $225 for Metlor, wasn't that his name?
Metlor, yeah.
Yeah. And those are awesome figures, though. I mean, I don't know if people watching, if you're familiar with Inhumanoids or not, but the action figures were always kind of weird because they were in these containment suits that were just
Right.
kind of out of proportion. But the monsters was what was always cool about the line.
Yep.
And I remember watching the cartoon too. And but yeah, I would have loved to have that Tendril. I had that Dragonfly there at Wolf's booth. see if I could sell it, that classified Dragonfly. I should have went over and seen if they traded. They probably wanted some money to boot, but I wouldn't have mind paying a little bit more for that, because you don't see those very often. Like you said, it's the long one too.
Yeah.
So
and typically when you find one of those, the fangs are broken off of it.
Yep.
And stuff. And these were perfect. They were beautiful. I mean, it was probably it's the best I've ever seen.
Yep, me too.
Even as a kid, most of them you saw as a kid was busted up, broke off, but this was immaculate. It was beautiful.
And I got 2 questions to ask. We get any further. Dave, did you ever cover this on the show?
The radio?
Yeah.
No.
And whose idea was this?
Came with the original Night Landing, came with the radio and the shovel and the gun and all that.
Oh, I know Valiverse, they don't make stuff like this. Nobody does. Why ain't you and Emmett making this and luggages and stuff? Like carry-on suitcases and stuff. Y'all make a killing with this.
Well, they're just going on a night adventure. They're not going over, standing.
No, I'm just saying for other characters. I'm just saying for other characters and stuff, for dioramas and stuff. Nobody makes stuff like this, like suitcases and roll carrier, roll type suitcases or stuff like that, or laptops and or nothing like that. I don't, like I said, that's money. I'll just leave it sitting on the vine, man.
See, that's what we need. I need to get together with Adam, and what we'll do is we'll do an old Samsonite diorama. We'll get a gorilla and a cage, and I'll do the luggage, and we'll do a diorama of the old gorilla in the luggage commercials. Right?
I'll be honest with you. I think I got 3 suitcases. Out of all this, I got 3.
But that next video he'll show, he's going to show Mainframe and Zorana sitting in that Night Landing with their suitcases going on over a weekend.
Well, Mainframe's the only guy I got with a laptop computer too.
They're sneaking to Niagara for the weekend.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, like you can 3D print you some computer banks, like for dioramas, just leave them like a shell inside. People paint them and buy them and send them up, and they're like dioramas for Batman or whatever. I say y'all was leaving money laying around, man.
See, believe it or not,
Couches.
yeah. Well, I mean, when you go onto the major sites that you can get files from, STL files. I mean, there's everything you can think of on there.
You just need to look long enough.
Yeah, but it's not. I hate to say it. It's not like they move a lot of it because it doesn't seem to be that much interest in it. It's very strange. There seems to be everybody still wants to treat 3D printing like the redheaded stepchild. It's not original. It's not OG. It's not manufactured. So people want to treat it like second class, and I understand that. I understand that very much for repro parts. If you want all original, that makes perfect sense. But let's face it, some of this stuff Hasbro is just never going to make. Or McFarlane or anybody else. They're just never going to make this stuff.
A cell phone. You can now. Y'all only see what's behind me. Not Dave, but Shane's been here. I got stuff in the dining room too, and on this back wall over here. I got 2 cell phones out of all of it, and one of them come with Gwen Poole and Jon Favreau from the Marvel movies. That's it.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you, printing little things like that with any kind of detail is very difficult.
They ain't got that much detail on there. It's just basically see a screen and that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's injected molded too. So I mean, that's liquid plastic inside of mold under pressure. You could do it with a resin printer, but I don't have a resin printer, and I have no intentions on getting one either. So, but I don't need to right now. Thank you. That's great.
I mean, I would be happy with just a plastic square, just paint something on it. I mean,
a bag full.
Like I said, bags. Well, another thing, bags. I got like satchels and stuff for bags would work.
Luggage for when Mary Jane kicks Peter out for the last time.
Well, you never know. You might need a nice Samsonite Destro. Might want to put a bomb in it.
Peter's been hanging around with Black Cat again, and nope, you're out of here, bum. All right?
Yeah, I mean, Pete might have to take his extra spidey suit.
Right?
Oh man.
Matt Murdock will be in touch with you soon.
That's right. Well, hey, I can see the greatest divorce. Mary Jane gets Matt Murdock, and Spidey Man's got to get She-Hulk to defend it.
That's right. Divorce court, Marvel style.
Yep.
That's right. Get Judge
And the
Judy.
Punisher's the judge.
It's funny.
How'd we get to this?
I have no idea.
It was one of two of Corey's questions. And he's ranted so much he don't remember what number 1 was or 2 was.
I think I came with the
Thank you.
surfboard sale.
Yeah. I think he's talking about the man.
Are you talking about G.I.
The
Joe?
Manta, yeah, the Manta.
That
It
was
was, it was one of the few vehicles that was strictly mail away, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep, it was. Yep, it was.
Well, I meant to say something about this radio. That's what impressed me most about the come with the boat.
Well, it's kind of sad, Corey.
The boat was cool. The boat was cool, and the engine's cool. But I really dig the radio. I mean, I'd like to have a big computer bank. Where you set up maybe a Batcave diorama or something other. And also, what paint would you suggest to paint this? I'm gonna paint this and paint the dolls and stuff on it.
Just acrylic.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When I get my new glasses, of course, because I can't hardly see nothing with the old ones.
Yeah,
You give me the radio, pay me $10, I'll paint it.
yeah. The Manta didn't come with anybody.
No, it didn't come with
Yeah.
Sailboard.
Did anybody at the con see anybody with custom head sculpts from 112 Skull Guys?
I saw one with Mythic Legion heads, but that was it.
Yeah, I saw him too. Very nice guy, just
Oh yeah.
didn't have a lot of stuff.
I would love to get me a Harry Callahan head.
A what?
Harry Callahan.
Oh, Dirty Harry?
Yeah. Or Paul Kersey. I mean, you can order them unfinished, but I ain't got the steady hand or the eyesight to paint them no more. So
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Hey, how about you buy a resin printer and I start painting them for you? You can make money.
you're gonna have to paint a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a fair trade.
Like, you need to go quit. You need to go quit school and give me 16 hours of your day.
Yeah, right.
But my painting skills are excellent.
He does actually pretty good painting.
I'm gonna go
If you
grab
can
one.
keep him focused.
I'll go grab one.
My problem is the eyes. I can't do eyes no more to save my life.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I've got a couple of those resin heads that I haven't even started on because I just don't. It takes a lot to sit down and paint those and do it well. It really does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Because I got hundreds of ideas and I got thousands of bodies already ready to go.
there you go.
Uh-oh.
Let me show what I got.
Yeah, show it.
I got this also from Ginger Kid's booth. He gave me a great deal on it. I've been wanting one for a while. It's Father Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about these, this is a Mythic Legion figure, obscure figures. And what I like about these is when you open these up, and there's the figure,
Mm-hmm.
but you also get the backdrop as the cover.
That's cool. It's like a slip cover.
Yeah, it's just magnetic. It magnetizes to the box itself, and there's your backdrop. So it's pretty awesome. But this figure, I've been wanting it for a long time. They also have the Bob Marley for the Christmas Carol movie, and also Christmas Past, I believe it is. And I'm gonna get those to go along with this one. And
Oh, you ain't got him. You ain't got him yet.
No, I don't have Bob Marley or Christmas Past, but I got
Hey,
this
Bob Marley.
from my old buddy Dave. Is that
Nice.
Bob Marley?
That was Jacob Marley, but we keep going with that.
That's it, Bob Marley. He's the Jamaican guy.
Come on.
Got that from Dave, and I'm working on putting it together.
Yep.
It is pretty stinking awesome. If you can't tell what it is, it's a devilfish classified scale, and it's pretty awesome. But yep, that's what I got. Didn't see a whole lot of stuff for me there, but there was a ton of stuff for everybody.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Blue screen. Blue screen.
How'd that happen?
It's awesome.
Getting glitches now.
Glitch.
Yay.
All right. Emmett wants to show off his painting skills. So here you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, he does pretty good. Plus the lighting is terrible.
If he can paint that, he can definitely do eyes. Then I might have to give him do some paint for me.
Well, we say that, but there's a lot of. Well, Timothy mentioned a minute ago him having to do this. He'll tell you there's a lot of like
Tricks.
broad brushing on these where it's not. The details kind of happen by accident. They're not necessarily on purpose. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Like
Dry
messy,
brushing and
then
stuff,
You
yeah.
slowly get it so you clean it
Yeah.
up.
So to actually do eyes would be quite a lot. But
I mean, that's why the eyes on him are only partially painted. I couldn't fill them in
they hardly even molded on that little tiny.
I just can't get the pupils right. I just can't do it the same way I can't do
There's
it.
pupils and colors. And, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he does a pretty good job. He does a good job.
I have more of them upstairs. A lot more.
Yeah, we'll leave them up there.
Yeah, they are awesome. I'll give you that.
So my pickups this week were limited because but I had to get this.
Oh, that is awesome.
That Shadow is Batman from that Sonic DC set, the 2.5 inch.
Yeah.
These usually come into blind bags, but they fit the scale to like the 6 inch, 7 inch figures is perfect. But they gave him a little Batmobile. This
That's
little
pretty cool.
Batmobile right here is a sturdy little sucker. This is a great toy for $25. I think it's awesome. I really like that.
The features are great too.
It's really cool. Yeah, I mean the flames and stuff spin when you spin the rear wheels.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's a really cool. It's a really well done little toy.
Ultramarines. It's something I do. And Kriegsmen. I do primarily Kriegsmen.
And then ordered way back a long time ago. I swear it must have been 6-7 months ago. And NECA offered a bundle set of this limited to 1,000, I think it was. Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution hardcover book, which collects, and it's got you see the photography, it's the actual figures,
Nice.
and it collects that whole comic series in one volume, and it's actually a very nice book. And that came with a signed card by the artist,
Oh, nice.
which is cool. And it came with all 4 of the new Turtles. So you get Uno. Forgive the glare, guys. But you get Uno.
Dos.
No, they're all one. Every one of their names means one in a different language. So there's Yi, Uno, and Yi. And
I thought you said ye.
Moja, who's a chunk. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's Odin. But there's Moja. And then Odin, who is a real chunk of a figure. So, yeah. I mean,
Big guy.
I was very happy to get that. Finally get that set.
Oh, and this.
Like I said, it was pre-ordered a million years ago. Yeah, Emmett got a video game yesterday.
Oh, buddy, I love playing that when it originally come out.
So,
Oh, that Metal Gear.
Metal Gear,
Yep.
the original. Yeah, the original on the NES.
Yeah, he told me he was trying to trade for it.
Yeah, he got it. So, but
Because I
that's
just recently got the 5th game, so I wanted to get the classic game.
Did you pick up the remastered Snake Eater?
I want to, but I don't have $60.
It's $41 right now on if you download it from PlayStation.
Yeah, you got $41 either, so.
I don't got a.
so
You know, if you made some more of them stands and took them to show, that would solve that problem.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
he's got
Metal
to figure
Gear
out
was
how to buy
always a
some more
great game.
filament. So, exactly.
I always liked Snake Eaters. It was my favorite.
So yeah, no, that was it. That was it for quite a while. Actually, I don't really foresee much of anything. I've still got a couple of Kickstarters floating out in the wind.
Me too.
That artwork of George Jimenez from the DC line is still not out, still not done. And I've got the field guides, but we weren't supposed to have the field guides until like May. So, but that's it. I don't have a ton of stuff pre-ordered at this point. I will say the 22nd of this week that Abomination Marvel Legends goes up for pre-order. I'm going to try to get in on that, I guess. But that's kind of it right now. I don't know what else was going up for pre-order that
What
day.
about the toy collector's wish book, special edition G.I. Joe?
Oh, that one's out in limbo too. I haven't seen an update from Wayne in quite a while on that.
Yeah, the last time I got something from him was the 11th
Of January or December?
of November.
Well, I know it was getting close to printing, wasn't it?
I think they were last update I got. I think they were still shooting photographs for it,
Really?
but that's been a while back, so I'm not sure.
Well, that last email I got was that he had a brief setback due to a minor wrist fracture.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't even remember that update.
That was update number 10.
I thought that maybe it's the Jimenez one I was reading that was going to print. Yeah, I mean, I personally have never been taken by a Kickstarter, so
Oh, yeah. Me neither,
I'm
but
assuming that will happen. I just kind of not on schedule right now, that's for sure.
I know the pre-order for the re-release of the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure with the human head to make him another guy it's up.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave,
Yeah.
I thought they didn't have much. We got it. That's the Game Reverse. The only difference between it and the one coming out, well,
you can't take that off.
That's the only difference. It's the same body, everything.
Yeah.
Just the head. I may end up ordering me a custom case Abomination head for it. But this is a little bit darker green too. And everybody's still complaining about the new one still got that toe right there.
The dew claw.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I went to look for my Ursa Major.
Is that not the Game Reverse body?
Yeah. That's Game Reverse body.
That's what they're using on this new one coming out.
That exact body.
So it's a
But
game.
just-
It's another
just-
game.
it's just a little bit lighter color, and they changed heads, and that's it.
So it's a Game Reverse Abomination, not a comic Abomination.
Correct. But they're using the comic Abomination head.
It'd be close enough for me. I mean, if my
But
Hulk is standing on his chest, he probably won't notice all the differences.
Well, me personally, the new Ursa Major, it's got a better color to it. You come with the other head. I can't remember what Spider-Man villain it is. Grizzly. You can change his hands out. I'm gonna get it too. I got the Build-A-Figure, but I love my bears, man.
Yeah, speaking of bears, that other bear from Mythic Legions is still an absolute just no-show. No.
Just
I was going to say, did you find one?
No. 18 months in the waiting. 18 months late. Can you imagine that, guys? That's
Actually,
amazing.
it's longer than that. I thought they were supposed to have it February of last year or year
Yeah,
before.
it may have been. Yeah, it may have been delayed. It's been 18 months.
2024 is when it was
Yeah,
pre-order.
Yeah.
isn't that insane?
But,
Here's my only fear with the new Abomination. It's going to have weak ankles like this one. And he's so heavy.
Yeah.
I had to actually go in with crazy glue and kind of tighten him up. He's beefy.
They're saying that bear and that wave is shipping begins early February. So it's going to be
what year?
This year.
Okay.
So it's going to be 2 years late.
2 years.
Yep.
2 years late.
Yep.
That's amazing when you think about it, guys. That
On
really
on the Kickstarter was talking about. I went to Kickstarter's website and looked, and it's November the 14th, the last update on it, where he broke his wrist or wrist fractured his wrist.
Yeah, that's when I got the
That's the
email.
last update on it.
But I will tell you, Dave, you'll like this from Abomination. He's got butterfly joints, and he can break them all the way back.
nice. Yeah, it's definitely not a figure that'll get used a lot. I just wanted one to go with that Hulk. So.
Yeah, it's just
The only thing, like I said, I can't remember if this is a Build-A-Figure or not. I can't remember. I want to say it was.
Yeah,
Because I got that whole game away.
Game Reverse Wave they had.
Yeah.
Had not Miss Marvel, and I can't remember who else. Not the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
And, I think it had a Game Reverse Steve Rogers and Game Reverse Iron Man, if I remember right.
I believe you're right, too. But me personally, it's good Abomination figure. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't like his
I was
ankles.
wrong on my dates. That wave for Mystic Legions and the bear was in December of 2023.
Unbelievable, huh? 2 years.
So it's a little over, going to be over 2 years.
26 months. 26 months late.
Yep.
Well, you know me, I'm usually crabby, but it's Mythic Legion, so it's worth the wait, people.
Oh, it is. Their figures are amazing. But my thing is, they put out 7 or 8 other different waves since then.
Oh yeah,
And
there's
they've
been
all
no
shipped.
shortage of product.
So I mean, that is my issue with it.
Yeah.
What
And
Timothy say?
He says, still waiting on my Eric of Meaning Bane from Savage Crucible and the Death Dealer.
Melon bone?
If he
Melon
needs a
bone?
death dealer, I'll just send him over after I feed Marshall a bunch of beans.
Oh, there you go.
He'll become the death dealer.
Yeah, Lordy.
He'll bring a poster with him.
Well, guys, what are y'all looking for right now?
What's that?
What are y'all looking for right now? Hitting shelves.
He's missing a hand.
Red label Zatanna, that cheetah, and I still never got that Cyborg Superman that kind of came and went. I didn't get one.
Which one?
Well, the last one that came out, not the non-red label, not the black one, but the regular red,
Okay.
the blue, red, and silver. Never even saw one.
I didn't either. Like I said, somebody from in a group found me one in Georgia. That's how I got mine.
Yeah, I know a bunch of GameStops got them, and they seem to have gotten them like a week or so early. And then that was it. But talking to the girls here at the GameStop in Pell City, they never got any of them at all. So
I'm looking for Zartana, Professor Pig, either variant.
You say Peppa Pig?
yeah,
Peppa Pig. Look Peppa Pig. Green shirt guy and a retro carded bat. That's all I'm looking for right at the moment. And Phantom Rider.
No, I'm just my real short list right now.
That's what mine is too. I just went and dropped $75 on the new Call of Duty game.
Yeah, not me.
I wasn't going to, but the girlfriend's into it. She plays it since you want me to play with her on there.
No, it doesn't have a campaign, so I ain't bothering. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, it's got a campaign.
Yeah, not a regular one.
I know, Ginger Kid had that new Emperor Doom figure, and that's a nice looking figure in person. It looks a lot better than the pictures I saw. I was tempted to get it.
I'm gonna get him if I run across him too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was tempted to, but I wanted cardiac more, so I had to pick one or the other, and I picked cardiac.
Somebody in the group, Pelham said Walmart had that had 2 cases that entire way from that Spider-Man retro card, like with cardiac in it.
Yeah, I found one Owl Man at a Walmart, and I found Hypno Hustler at Target. They had like 3 or 4 of him. But I've only seen one Owl Man, and the card was bent on it. It's probably why it's still there, which I don't care. I'm going to open mine. I found 500 chameleons at Ross's the other day.
See, one of the guys is throwing you underneath the bus there, Emmett. Somebody just said they saw a bunch of those Cyber Supermans at Gadsden yesterday.
I see none of them.
Oh, Emmett wasn't looking for nothing but what Emmett was looking for.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Cyber Supermans at Gadsden, really?
That's what didn't Matt just say that? Didn't a comment just pop up saying that?
Matt.
I looked over the show 3 times. No one had Cyborg Superman.
You should have been looking closer.
I asked everyone who's had McFarlane figures.
Matt Gunn says, I saw a few of those Supermans at the show Saturday. See?
But I guess they didn't like me.
I know you get a few right now. You're going to have to cut your arm and your leg off to get it.
You're grounded. That's it.
I mean, if Emmett, like I said, I made me total nostalgia, I'll cut your arm and leg off. I will get you one.
Yeah. It's been quite a few months since those figures came out. So, you know, the other one there was 2 others I never saw. I never saw that really good comic accurate Shazam, and I never saw the comic book Mr. Terrific either. I saw a ton of the movie Mr. Terrifics, but
I did see the pig there, but I wasn't going to pay what they were asking.
No, I heard about that one. Yeah. That's just scalper crap right there.
Oh, they had the pig, the professor.
Yeah. One person did. He had, I think, 2 of them, and he wanted $50 a piece for them.
Yeah, that's scalper crap right there. Those figures were just released this week.
I think he charged me $30 or $35 for this, which I think that's about retail, isn't it?
Well, they're $30. Yeah.
Ginger Kid. Like
all
Cardiac,
his prices are
Cardiac
retail.
was $30, which is $27.99 at Walmart. So his price probably would be about $30. So I mean, he was charging retail.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, you think $27.99 in tags?
Yeah, $30.
You'll notice that card's upside down in that box.
Oh, you should get rid of that.
Better not open that one. That's going to be priceless.
That's faulty. That you shouldn't keep that in your collection.
I pointed that out right after I got it. I looked and I said, "Hey, his card's upside down." He said,
"That's wrong."
Dave said he would be nice enough to take it off your hands for what you paid for it, and he'll ship it back and get it fixed.
You shouldn't keep that garbage in your house. You really shouldn't. That's terrible.
I have something else.
What do you want to ask?
I need to ask if someone has a spare Figma hand.
Okay, here. Emmett has a standing request. See this solid snake figure? He's missing a hand. If anybody has a hand, let me know. Would you give a guy?
I don't have a hand, but he can send it to me, and I'll take care of it. Okay?
Can you blow it up, Shane? I can't hardly see it.
And either right or left.
That's his right hand.
You have a Metal Gear Rex sitting under your house. And you're gonna let him eat.
What character is this?
It's Metal Gear.
Solid snake.
Oh, nice.
Stumper.
But he has a hand. He just needs another hand.
That's what happens whenever.
Put him a blaster on there, have a cannon.
That's whatever happens when you stick your hand in an alligator's mouth.
Yeah.
I get on Temu and order one, a cheap one, just for the hand. The rest of it might be garbage, but the hand be all right.
Japanese.
I was going to say, what is this, Takatomi? What is this thing?
Figma.
Yeah, they primarily do anime figures.
I mean, Emmett, don't you have a 3D printer, my friend?
Yes, I do. But I've looked for files. Trust me, I've already looked. I haven't found any. I found a black but
just look up a regular Figma figure hand.
Yeah. Just pop the other fist off, scan it, reverse it, and there you go.
There you go. Yeah, you can mirror it.
And you can go to Walmart for a few dollars. You can buy you some little tiny drill taps to drill a hole in the hand, and boom, bada bing, you're there.
There we go.
Look at that. You can de-head bro. Real easy.
Okay. Well, that's probably all for this episode, isn't it, guys? A whole lot going on. I did see some speculation that February 1st is G.I. Joe Day. Maybe something will come out on that day. And then, of course, Toy Fair is next month. So that's only a few weeks away.
First Joe's supposed to be releasing April the 1st, so February?
Yeah, a while for that. But we still may end up with some pre-orders coming out of Toy Fair, maybe. I just don't know. That's it. Comic book world's kind of quiet right now.
Other than that, that's good.
It's kind of it, really. I mean, so glad you guys had fun. I'm glad Gadsden was another success. Hopefully that keeps going. And,
It was.
Yep.
We'll see what the next 2 weeks brings, right?
Kelly,
Yes, sir.
again, from our group, apologize for John getting your flight canceled.
Yep.
He's got
I'm trying to keep
happy.
her where she come on the show tonight. So she's there.
Oh yeah. Well,
Well, I kind of trained off, and she'd come bunk with me tonight. I mean, if she needed to.
that's probably not ever going to happen.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, there's a good chance it's just not going to happen. Well.
I mean, she did work for Vince McMahon. I can't be that bad to hang out with.
No, I've heard worse things about you than I have been Vince McMahon. Yeah.
I made them sign NDAs. Who was it?
Yeah, right. Okay, gentlemen and fans from around the world.
Thanks for joining in, everybody.
See you next week. We got the next guys.
I think we only have one fan in the number.
See you next time.
See you.